and welcome to SOLIDWORKS Skills video.
In your first lab exercise, we are asking you to create from the ISOs that we provide, the ISO sketches, 10 actual models, 10 SOLIDWORKS models, 5 from the first 10 and 5 from the last 10 of the numbered ISOs. On the screen here you see 5 of them. You are to submit 2 PDFs, each with 5 models shown. I'm about to show you how to do that. So I have all 5 open that I want to include with my assembly and then eventually out to the PDF. Let's go ahead and do that. I will do a File, New, Assembly, and now I have an empty assembly waiting for parts to be dropped into it. You can select one at a time, or you can drop all 5 at the same time. I think we can multiple select here, and if I do so, I click on that and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now all of the 5 open ISOs are present in this assembly, and all we really need to do is arrange them in such a manner that they can be readily output and viewed by your teaching staff. All of them appear to have come in reasonably good orientation. They look pretty much like the originals. However, the one in the upper right here is laying on its side. What I'm going to do is to describe a generic routine that we want you to use so that you can have them all in the same plane and easy for us to determine that they are proportionally correct. So the first thing we will do, I'm going to show you that all of them can be moved. I just click and drag. However, the first one I placed, which is this one in the middle, cannot be dragged because it's fixed in place. It has a fixed attribute. In fact, if you look over in the feature tree, you see that that first one, I'll click on it here, has a little letter F next to it. I will right click on that part because I want them all to be floating for this particular exercise. You don't always have to do this, but generally, if you're going to be laying everything out according to a plane, let's make them all floating. So now you can see that they're all in different planes. They're kind of randomly helter-skelter around the area. Let's make them lock to one of the standard planes that we are provided. The one I'll recommend that you use for this exercise is the top plane. So I'll click away from everything, and I'm going to click on Mate. And the first thing we'll mate will go one by one. I'll click on this fellow and mate it with the top plane. See how I can open the feature tree that's been moved out into the working area, and I'll move that to the top plane and accept it. I'll do that with each of them in turn. Move that to the top plane, accept it. Same thing again and again. That guy to the top plane, accept that. Now this one is kind of off in its own little world there. I'm going to click on its bottom. I'm calling this the bottom. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed that the first thing I select becomes transparent. That is an option that you can unselect. I prefer to turn it off. I think I mentioned that in another video. So I'll turn that off. Now here we are with the bottom selected. Scroll back up and you can see that I haven't yet selected the top plane. Here we go. The top plane is selected. By the way, if you need to flip it over, you can change the mate alignment. Notice if I click on the mate alignment, I can have aligned or anti-aligned. In this case, anti-aligned is what we want. We got one more to do. Let me accept that last change. And here we go. Click on the bottom, again on the top plane, and now they are all, the bottoms are all coplanar. This is exactly how I want it. Click on OK. OK one more time, and now when I move things around, I can move them and they will be pretty much laid out in a sensible fashion, at least for purposes of our review. We have the opportunity here to align the view. If I click on the view orientation, there are various tools that are available, some pre-programmed orientations, or the view selector. Let's click on the view selector. That is what's up here right now. You notice as I move around, it will show me how it will end up. Gives me a good approximation. Now this is the isometric view, but I see that there's a problem, at least for output purposes. I'm going to allow that to do its thing, but before saving, I'm going to move things apart just a bit so that they don't overlap. This is looking pretty good. Let's save the assembly before trying to output the PDF. So I will do a save. We're going to let it rebuild, and we will call it first 5 isos .sld.asm, and we'll save that. Now that I've preserved my assembly in a SolidWorks file, let's go ahead and create the PDF for submittal. I'll go to File, Save As, and instead of the Save As type of assembly, I'll click on it and select Adobe Portable Document Format, or PDF. And we do want you to preview your work before submitting, so I will check View PDF after saving. And notice that it uses the primary name from the assembly .pdf. Looks good. Let's go ahead and save it. I had already done this before, so I'm going to overwrite. And up comes the PDF. Everything looks properly oriented from an isometric point of view. I can go compare it with the original ISOs. They should look good. Again, check your work before submitting.
Thank you for watching. This video is part of a series created by Neil Rosenberg and Joseph Caswell. All rights reserved.